So today we have a very special guest speaker. Many of you know Reverend Marilyn Knipp. She's got her fancy shoes on today. She can give you more of a story on that than I will. Reverend Knipp was the founder and minister for many years of Celebration of Center for Vancouver. Reverend Marilyn was Reverend Terry's teacher, and Reverend Terry, that must have been hard. Yeah. And Reverend Terry, as you know, is our beloved Reverend Tamara's teacher. So it's the gift that giveth, and you are a gift.
Thank you.
Reverend Marilyn's love for dogs led her to BC Guide Dogs, where she is actively engaged in training her second dog, Oreo.
Oreo, yeah.
Yes, Oreo, very important and very big life-opening experience, too. We just think it's all about this, but it's all about everything. She continues to study, to contemplate, and remains deeply immersed in her relationship to God. It is with unmeasured affection and respect that I introduce the beloved Reverend Marilyn Knipp.
Come on. Oh, Jill, you outdid yourself. Thank you. Beloved. Come on. Beloved. Thank you. Wow. Oh, yeah, your shoes. You got to check out the shoes. Listen, and if anybody needs them, they're size 10. You know, this may be the only time I wear them. I train dogs, for God's sakes. I'm used to wearing muddy tennies, you know, that was it. But this gives me the opportunity. Wow. Hey, thanks for inviting me here. I know you all know this, but this is our hour to connect with Spirit. And I know we do that all in our own way. And sometimes rather, you know, I'm connecting with Spirit, but I'm really thinking about what I'm going to have for lunch. I don't know about you. Isn't it amazing? Lunch takes care of itself somehow. Yeah, anyway, it's really a special time to share. Wow. And of course, I was sitting there thinking about my shoes. Well, I'm not native Canadian, and I know this is Victoria Day's coming up, or yeah, Victoria Day. And I go, what the hell is this, you know, thing? When I lived in the States, we always thought those bloody Canadians, they have way too many holidays. And now I'm here, so I really appreciate it. So I looked up Victoria Day last night. And, you know, it's, you guys all know a lot more about this, but I thought it was very interesting. You know, was originally Queen Victoria's birthday, and then it seems like somehow they forgot what it was, you know, and then it has to be the last Monday before May 26th. Now, yeah, does that make any sense at all? But what I loved when I read it was, it's the unofficial marker of winter social season and the beginning of summer social season. So we're doing it right. Ours, the social season. Wow. Anyway, it's really great that Monday. I don't have a regular job anymore, so I forget what's holidays and everything. But for the people that work, and I guess it's not everybody gets the day off. I don't know. Yeah, do we care? No. I think it's all very interesting. Anyway, I thought I wanted to talk to you about this whole spiritual journey that we're on, and it's an individual journey. And the neat thing is, with our teaching, it really honors that spiritual journey is our own journey, and we come together at times like this to go, hey, guess what happened, or what are you thinking, and all that. But it's such an individual journey, and I don't know where you all started, but I started from much the level of this song. Now, I love JRFM, you know, the country and western thing. Yeah, I grew up with it. And Jelly Roll sings this great song, I only talk to God when I need a favor. And I only pray when I ain't got a prayer. So who the hell am I? Who the hell am I to expect a savior? If I only talk to God when I need a favor, oh, but God, I really need a favor. You know, I don't know if that's how I grew up, you know, and then I threw it all out, you know. But it's like, and I even bargain with God, you know, oh, I promise if only I can do that. Well, that was kind of my start, and, you know, then it's throwing it all out and going, well, maybe there is something and blah, blah, blah. But here we sit together to understand in our own special way that this is our own spiritual journey, and that it's about finding out, this is the hard part, finding out who I am. You know, I don't even think it's so much about God or spirit or that. It's like, who am I in this great thing? So I have this great comic revelation that as Jelly Roll is singing, I only talk to God when I need a favor. And the deal is he needs a favor because his girlfriend is leaving him. That's it. You know, that's important. And so I had this great thing that Rumi, you know, that mystical poem said, and you, when will you begin taking that long journey into knowing yourself? You know, it's the furthest thing from our mind when we're in all this mess. And, you know, after all the study and everything, I think I should be over even the thought of, well, maybe if I do this, maybe if I usually do things I don't really want to do, you know, then life or something is going to present me with something like this. Guess what? It's the internal journey to ourself. Big one, isn't it? Rumi, when will you begin that long journey into yourself? And we've all begun it, for sure. And notice the operating, well, there are many operating words, but it's the journey. It's like taking the next step, taking the next step, taking the next step, for sure. You know, when I got into this spiritual stuff, and especially when I'm around Terry, I go, well, listen, you know, where I want to hang out is where I know that spirit is who I am. I want to know, you know, then there's nothing for me to worry about. I want to like hang out there. So that's it. And then, you know, life kind of bonks me on the head. You know, I get mad at my dog. Like, that's really ridiculous, you know, but I get mad at my dog. And I go, well, I think I just forgot that spirit is all there is. And especially when I'm so honored that I get to home and be with a guide dog in training. His name is Oreo. He's my second dog. My first dog, I was so lucky because I had no idea what I was doing. But she's gone on to advanced training. She will actually be a sight impaired. Oh, whoops. I really have to stand here? Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you, but direct me. I'll do anything, you know. So Oreo is such a wonderful experience for me because the whole essence, and I know you know this, is they want calmness around these dogs. Calmness. Do I look like a calm person? Not even slightly. So, it's calmness. And, I've always been afraid that across the street from my house, they may have a camera going on, that I don't know about as I'm yanking along like, you little bugger, if you don't do this, But calmness, that's me. So in this journey of, and I love the adventure, and it's incredibly frustrating, but I love him. He's so wonderful. And so in this journey, I sometimes watch those things on television, Caesar Milan, and his show is Better Human, Better Dog. Have you noticed? And that's what they're teaching us in the training of a guide dog. They say that the energy that I hold that leash goes down to the dog. And I go, what, are you joking? He's just a dog, for God's sakes. Don't you? You absolutely do. So Caesar Milan, I watch these things. Okay, I'm going to remember. I got to remain calm, and I got to remain positive. But he says the handler needs to be, or the best thing, they need to have calm confidence. Calm confidence. And so I go, okay, I can do this. Yep, I can do this. And it's good that there's something hanging out there that I want to do enough in order to remind myself calm confidence. So the last, 3 months or so, I don't know how long it's been, I've been going, okay, whenever I'm driving, okay, it's about calm confidence. And it totally amazes me. I have been on time every time. And I go through the tunnel a lot, and somehow calm confidence. But I got to bring myself to the calm confidence. And sometimes, because I'm an introvert, and I can be with people. I know, I'm an introvert. I'm better with dogs than people, really. And so when I'm meeting with a person or something, I go, I might not have anything to say, or, I'm not a very interesting person. I go, calm confidence. Isn't that amazing? And what we're doing with the calm confidence is allowing spirit to do what spirit does. There's a Persian philosopher, Hafiz, I think I pronounce his name right. He said that the only thing that needs to happen is for us to get out of our way. And so it's like when I use that in my mind, calm confidence, I don't have to have the answer. Sometimes I go, yeah, but I want to be on time. Calm confidence. But I want to be brilliant today. Calm confidence. That one's hard, for all this. But it's like a mantra for me to let spirit happen. I was walking the dogs because I have a 13-year-old dog as well. Oh my God, my life has gone to the dogs, but I like them. And so I'm out, and I don't have a yard, which doesn't help, so I'm out, early this morning, and I looked up, and this is so evident, but I just hadn't realized it a lot before that, it was kind of cloudy, but of course, the sky was really blue and the sun was coming up. And I said, this is what life is, that God is there, spirit is there, the blue is there. But sometimes I get stuck on the clouds, like I'm not good enough, or what if, or for God's sakes, what am I going to eat today? The important things for sure. And so what we're learning, and certainly this is what Ernest Holmes is talking about, it's like clearing our vision, or clearing our thought more than anything, clearing our thought. I've enrolled, and I'm sure some of you have, on the internet of wise people putting out blurbs every day, and usually I delete them because I already knew that anyway, yeah. This is from Abraham. My most important relationship is with my source. Most important. There is no relationship of greater importance to achieve than that with my soul, my source, God, from which I came, from which I come. Okay, here's the deal. If I tend to my source, first and foremost, I will then and only then have the stable footing to proceed to the other relationships. Isn't that interesting? I'm dealing with the other relationships. So when source is first and foremost, I can better proceed to my relationship with my body, money, family, government, the world, and those will all fall swiftly into place. That sounds pretty good. Wow. Once I have tended this fundamental relationship with my source, all is well. Whew. It seems easy, doesn't it? And it is. It's so simple. So simple. So as Haviv said it, it's about clearing the way so that's the most important thing in my life. Isn't that interesting? Where for me it's like, oh, who do I need to call, or what happened, or all this kind of thing. But my source, and even using that little phrase, I'm calm and confident. Truly, it clears the way for spirit to show up. I love this book, Emmanuel's book. And, I dragged it out because I was having to pretend I'm brilliant today. But I go, every time I do this, I think I'm going to keep this by my bed, and even if I only read one page a day, it'll be good. Have I ever done that? Absolutely not, but we'll see. So, as Rumi said, when will you begin the long journey to yourself of knowing yourself? And so Emmanuel says, self-realization, knowing myself, is God realization. Knowing myself is knowing God. Seems pretty simple, doesn't it? But whoa, the purpose of life is exploration. So to learn this, maybe we came from that, but we forgot. There's big amnesia that happened there. The purpose of life, of this physical life, is exploration, adventure, learning, pleasure, another step toward home or toward knowing yourself. And what we often say here is, I am spirit having a human experience. So what he's saying is the whole purpose of this human experience is to know ourselves, to come back home, to enjoy. And they also say that what you do is follow the path of joy. So for me, it's led me to the dogs. And I never thought I would do this, but I'm having such a good time, and hard and frustrating and challenging time with this God dog thing. And there does come a time when they're about 18 months old where this dog that I have lived with and loved, I have to let it go. I call it it's graduation, And last time that happened to me, it was the first time I'd had a guide dog. They said, "Okay, Marilyn." It was great because the trainer took an hour with me. They knew I was going to be a hard case, you know. Okay, I'm taking him out of the country. I don't know what's going to happen. But they talked with me and talked about the potential of her really helping other people and having a good life, you know, because they work, but when they're not working, they have big time playtime, and they go, "Marilyn, we have such a special puppy for you, if you let go of this one." And I went, "Okay." So Oreo, I just have to tell you quickly. So Oreo came actually a couple months later, because I don't have a yard, so another woman kept him that has a yard, which is really good, and I picked him up. He is so cool, and I wish I could have brought him today. Next time I will bring him. A male dog, first of all, who is discovering his sexuality at 6 months, which is very, very interesting. Him and the stuffy toys. But he is so cool. And this is what I want to share you, because he is pure lab. They genetically really, you know, they outline these and decide which they're meeting with what. But he is a yellow lab with a black stripe right here. So he gets a lot of attention, and I do too, which is pretty neat. And the neat thing was, I love doing this so much, but I could not have figured any of that stuff out. So I think this journey, so, you know, I wanted to talk about the journey of spiritual understanding, because I want to go from bargaining with God to, I live in spirit 100% of the time, you know, and so far I've not been very successful at that. So we get to take little steps, you know. And again, we know it's an individual journey. We come together here to share our stories and laugh, but it's individual. And I imagine that Terry has used this quote, but I love it when I heard, this is from Walt Whitman, and it's about taking the steps, and how do we know what my next step is? How, you know, because mine's going to be different than yours. And Walt Whitman, I didn't know he was such a great guy. Anyway, he says, "In the faces of men and women, I see God." Like, that's the level he operates at. I'm not there yet. Well, with a few of you, I can do it, but okay, here's another one. "And in my own face, in the glass, I see God." I have moments. Do you do that? Sometimes I feel weird. You know, I'm looking in the glass and I'm looking in my eyes. I go, "Who is that?" I don't really have the answer, but I mean, it's unanswerable. So this is what Whitman said, and I'm talking about, how do you know that this is your step, or, you know, this is your step, but you're going to self-realization and God-realization. And Whitman says, I love this. "I find letters from God dropped in the street, and everyone is signed." But, you know, it's like me going to a cocktail party and end up going to the guy saying, I want to raise guide dogs." You know, last thing on the planet, I would think. I think that was a letter from God, don't you? Especially because I love it so much. Okay, so I find letters from God. I love this, dropped in the street, and everyone is signed by God. Boy, we got to look hard, don't we? Everyone is signed by God. And then he goes, "I leave them where they are because I know that wherever I go, there will always be more." Isn't that lovely? So you guys, we got quite a journey. I mean, just because you're sitting here, I know we're doing our own thing, but it's the same thing. You know, I love some of that Christian stuff, like, well, maybe we'll meet each other when we die. I don't know. I had to throw that in, sorry. It doesn't really have, but we're going the same place, you know? And it's quite a journey, and I think it's a journey unlike it. We have to trust ourselves, or we get to learn to trust ourselves. We get to trust those letters or those ideas from God that may not be like anybody else's, but to step in. And if it's not the right one, you know, we get to do something else, to find something that really brings us joy. And what Haviv said, he said, when you follow this way of taking those spiritual steps, he said, what I want to show you is that what I want to show you is the astonishing light of your own being. Count me in. It's good, isn't it? So what a journey. So if you want to I want to close this with maybe a little quiet time and realize that, as we said before, God is truly all there is, and what we do today is come together with open arms and open hearts in calm confidence to allow that to be, to allow that to light our way in this journey. And with calm confidence, I know that we will always and are always guided, guarded, and protected. And with calm confidence, we take this step in our self-realization to know ourselves, to know spirit, to know life, to know God. And I give great thanks to know this truth, which sets me free.